Hi, welcome to Open Door Yoga. My name is Michelle, and today we're going to go through a short chair yoga practice that's focused on the hips and the side bodies. You don't need anything other than your chair. So take a minute, get set up, then let's get started. We're going to start seated towards the front edge of the chair. So if you're sitting against the backrest, scoot forward enough so that you can ground down through both of your feet, but not so far that you lose the stability that the chair can provide you. As you get situated, ground down evenly through both feet and then work your way up. Ground down evenly through both sitting bones, so maybe shift a little bit from side to side. And then we'll stack shoulders over hips and then ears over shoulders. Take a minute to arrive on the chair and to today's practice. Maybe bring your hands to your low ribs and bring a little bit of mindful awareness to the breath. There's no need to change anything about your breath pattern or the rate of your inhales and exhales. But if you're not feeling any expansion down here in your low ribs on your inhales, you're breathing more in your chest, I invite you to invite your inhales to spread all the way down here. Allow your inhales to bring in as much new air and as much new energy as possible. And your exhales to release not only all of the air to make space for your new inhale, but maybe to let go of any tension, any stress, maybe even a thought that's not serving us right now. Just take one more full breath in. Release that breath completely. Release your hands down if you've lifted them. And we're going to start with some really simple marches just to warm up our core and our hip flexors a bit. So as you're ready, we're just going to march in place. You will be using your hip flexors a little bit to lift your thigh, but see if you can lift from your core. If you want to do a little bit of a core challenge, you could even press slightly down into that thigh to build a little bit of resistance. If this is feeling really uncomfortable in your hip flexor, another option is just to use your hands to help guide those knees up and stretch into those front hip spaces a little bit more. So lots of options depending on what you're looking for today. Just take a couple more marches on either side. Begin to find stillness. From here, we're going to come into that a little bit deeper by hugging our right knee all the way up to our chest. And if you're noticing that as you're hugging your knee, your upper back body begins to round, stack those shoulders back over the hips. Create some space between your ears and your shoulders. Maybe mindfully reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. If it feels good, maybe do some ankle circles. You could even point and extend. Whatever feels good down through your shin, your calf, your ankle, into your foot. The bottom of your next exhale will release that right foot down and take it over to the left. Again, check in, make sure you're maintaining this tall spine, keeping any tension out of your neck. If it feels good, you could even shake your head from side to side, no. You could bring back those ankle circles. If it's feeling challenging in your body to hold on to your shin, you could also use a prop, a strap, a belt, a kitchen hand towel. Even a winter scarf can be used to give your arms a little bit of extra length, if that's what feels good in your body today. And at the bottom of your next exhale, release your left foot. We're going to come into a wide stance. So we're going to bring our right foot out to the side. You could turn your toes out about 45 degrees. And then same thing with your left foot. Hands can still rest gently on the thighs. And slowly send your right shoulder forward and down. And as you do so, you can press gently your right hand into your inner right thigh. And then we'll take it to the other side. So we're finding a little bit of hip opening, a little bit of stretch up through our side bodies. You can alternate, moving from side to side. Maybe find that breath-body connection. Inhaling to rise and exhaling into this gentle twist. Doesn't have to be an extreme posture, just warming up the spine, warming up the hips. Allow your gaze to naturally follow wherever your sternum passes. It's going to help keep any tension out of your neck. We'll take one more to each side. Allow your inhale to bring you back to this tall spine, and then you can use your hands to help guide your legs back to our nice comfy seat. From here, we're going to turn to face the right side of the room. So bring your hands to the chair to give you a little bit of extra support, stability. We're going to stack our right knee over the right ankle. Allow the chair to support the back of your right thigh, so that right hamstring space. And then allow your left knee to drop down towards the ground. Check in with this hip flexor. If this is feeling like a lot of sensation, walk that left foot forward a little bit. You can hold the chair wherever it feels most comfortable for you with that right hand. Or pause here. If it feels good, you could even reach back and get a little bit of a stretch through that left quadricep. If you've done so, we'll just take one more breath in. Then exhale to release our leg. If it feels good, walk those toes back. Keep your sitting bones down, rooted into the chair. Maybe find a little lift through your back hamstring. Nice tall spine. Hands can come wherever they're comfortable. Resting on the chair, resting on the thigh. You can test your balance a little bit by bringing them to heart center or extending them overhead. And if you do so, just make sure you're really hugging your thighs towards the midline. It's going to help you keep your balance. One more inhale. Exhale, release your hands down if you've lifted them. Pivot on your back foot. So we're coming into warrior 2 feet. Your back foot can be pointed at about 90 degrees, or you can bring it in slightly if that 90 degrees is too much on your hips. From here, begin to roll your right thigh under. So when we're standing in warrior 2, sometimes the tendency is to push the knee out, and that can put a lot of pressure on your knee. Because we're seated, it's not so bad. But it's good practice to practice rolling from the hip, pressing that outer thigh back towards the back wall. Inhale with a tall spine. And exhale, we're going to make our way into extended side angle. So sweep that left arm up and overhead, keeping our left hip down. If you're noticing that you're starting to collapse through that right side body, no worries. Just find a little bit of lift. You should feel sensation or stretching through both of your side bodies, through both side torsos. Inhale, rise, and release that left arm. From here, we're gonna keep our left foot out, find stability with your hands on the chair, and then step your right foot back forward. So this is gate pose, seated in a chair. Inhale, extend your right fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, slowly fold to the left. Your gaze can look up if that feels nice. Right shoulder blade flat on the back body. Really imagine lifting up and over your waist. Left hand is resting gently. So again, we're avoiding this kind of collapse that can sometimes happen in that left side body. Inhale, rise on up. Exhale, release your hand and help guide that left knee back to your comfortable seat. We're going to take that whole sequence over to the left. So as you're ready, shift your weight, your body over to the left. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Drop that right knee down. If you'd like, you can take that quick quadricep stretch. Sometimes that brings even a little bit more sensation into the hip flexor, or that front hip space. If you've taken this option, on your next exhale, release, and then find the position that feels good. You could stay right here, or you could walk those toes back, finding a slight lift through your hamstring. Tall spine. And then hands come to rest wherever is most comfortable. If you have your back leg in extension, maybe consider trying to stack your right heel over your right toe mount. If you're noticing that your hips are opening up towards the side of the room, try to square them. Sometimes that means just pulling your left hip crease back. One more full breath in. Reach the crown of the head up. Stretch through both of your side bodies. And then exhale, release, pivot on your back foot. Take your time to come into warrior 2 feet. There's no rush. Sometimes it takes a little finagling with the chair so that it can feel comfortable. Inhale, find a tall spine. And exhale, make your way to extended side angle. Feel the sensation through both side bodies. Ground down through the pinky edge of that right foot and reach through those right fingertips. Maybe check in with your left hip. Feel it rolling under, bringing those hips into external rotation. On your next inhale, rise on up. Exhale, release your hand and use it to help step, not your right foot, step your left foot in. We're gonna come into gate pose on this opposite side. Inhale, extend your left fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, slide that right hand gently down the leg as you fold to the left. Imagine that lifting up and over sensation. And breathe into the left lung, the left rib cage. Inhale, rise. And exhale, help guide that right foot back to our comfortable seat that we started in. We're just going to take one more stretch here, and it's going to be a seated figure 4 or a seated pigeon pose option. So as you're ready, begin to cross your right ankle at the bottom of your right thigh and allow your right knee to hang heavy. Check in and look at your right ankle. Begin to draw the top of your right foot towards your shin. We want a little bit of flexion here to keep our knee safe. And then on an inhale, you can find your tall spine, shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. And exhale, hinge at the hips. Again, gaze is just going to naturally follow. So if you're hinged, you may be looking at a space out in front of you, or even down past your big toe. Release any tension in the neck. Breathe deep, and maybe invite your inhales and send them to that outer hip, to your low back, wherever you're feeling the sensation the most and needing a little bit of extra support and love. Inhale, rise on up. And before we uncross our feet, if it feels good, you could even give yourself a little bit of a foot massage here, rubbing the sole of your foot all the way up to the pad or the ball of your foot, and maybe even into your toes. Sometimes that can help us as we're starting to slow our practice down. It's a good remembrance that it's all about self-care. So take the time to choose postures that feel good, to get set up, to feel comfortable and confident in your alignment, to feel comfortable in your body. As you're ready, we'll uncross that foot and take it to the other side. So as you get set up, make sure that you begin to find a little bit of flexion into that left ankle to keep that left knee safe. And then choose the fold that feels best for you. You can inhale to find length and exhale to fold. If hinging doesn't feel good in your body, bring your fingertips behind you. Press gently to send your heart space up and forward just a little bit. You could even bring your hands to the backs of your chair and allowing your heart to really reach forward. Sometimes that can be a nice option if hinging just doesn't feel good in your back or doesn't feel good in your hip. Take 3 full breath exchanges here. As you're ready, rise if you've lifted, release your chair if you haven't, and then maybe take a nice foot massage on the left. You can use your thumbs. You could even use your fingers, whatever feels good. Don't forget your toes. Our feet bear a lot of our weight throughout the day as we walk, run, bike, any hobbies or sports that we like to participate in. Don't forget about them. We'll just take one more breath exchange here. And then exhale, release your foot. And I invite you to make your way to the Shavasana of your choice. If you'd like to do that seated in your chair, or if you'd like to make your way down onto the mat. Thanks for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.